That ball was made in a lab.
Are you not entertained?
You want to talk about a signature play? Good Lord.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
With a stiff arm, throws a man down.
Oh! Le'Veon Bell, touchdown!
And Rob and D Hall back with me. And guys, you know all about the playmakers in this one, our NFL Total Access Game of the Week. So let's run through them. Let's see. We have Mahomes, Hill, Kelsey, Thomas, Kamara. You get the picture here, I think. So let's talk about the X factor when it comes to this game. Who needs to step up, D Hall?
Oh, man, MJ, you just mentioned when you name some of those guys that Kansas City are going to put on the football field, right? The Saints has a great secondary, right? You got Marshawn Lattimore, Janoris Jenkins, Marcus Williams, all these great guys. But to me, it has to be the Chiefs' third receiver, Mecole Hardman. When you think about just the matchup nightmare he is with that raw speed, a lot of times the Saints love to put their safeties in that nickel position. I don't know no safety in America that can run with Mecole Hardman. And so it's going to be times where they double Tyreek Hill, double Travis Kelce, even have a spy on Patrick Mahomes. This dude right here, Mecole Hardman, has to come alive because he is electric. We see him do it in the return game. Now it's time to do it on 1st and 10.
Yeah, Mecole Hardman, he is a headache to deal with, especially, again, when you got to already deal with all the other weapons that Kansas City has. But I'm going to look at the New Orleans Saints side of things right here, and I'm going to say Sean Payton's play calling is going to be the X factor. And he has to get better than what it was last week, because throwing the ball 40 times with Taysom Hill, almost 40 times with Taysom Hill, and not getting the ball to Alvin Kamara even more, I think is a mistake by Sean Payton. And also, when you look at playing in this game against the Kansas City Chiefs and that high-powered offense, you want to run the ball a little bit more. Do what your quarterback, at least your quarterback as of right now, Taysom Hill, do what he does best. Run the football, carve people up, have a gap scheme for the Chiefs defense so that you can kind of keep the time of possession and keep Patrick Mahomes and that electric offense off the football field. If Sean Payton can do that, I think we'll have an interesting score, and the Saints, they might win this one.
And Rob, you said exactly what I was thinking. I was running the numbers here. Alvin Kamara, activate this man. He's averaged 54 fewer scrimmage yards since Taysom Hill has been under center. All right, guys, thanks.
Going to run Henry at right guard. Big hole. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, end zone. The Yulee bulldozer. Touchdown, Titans!
So Derrick Henry is looking to become the 8th running back to rush for 2,000 yards. He's sitting at just over 1,500 through week 14. So we're bringing in our Hall of Fame running back to dissect just how special Derrick Henry is. Of course, I'm talking about LaDainian Tomlinson. LT, come on through, because Henry needs to average about 156 yards per game at this point to hit that 2,000-yard club. Is it finally time to start to give the MVP back to a running back?
Well, I think it's time that we start talking about giving the MVP to a running back. I don't know if this is the season that we truly give it to a running back, because you have to look at, obviously, Patrick Mahomes and the way Aaron Rodgers, both those guys are playing and have played all year. I think in order for a running back to win the MVP, and it's always been like this, or any skill position, MJ, you have to do something truly special, like break a record. So Derrick Henry will have to approach Eric Dickerson's all-time rushing record in a single season. That's what he's going to have to do. If he gets close to that number, then he has a pretty good chance of winning the MVP, but I still think it's highly unlikely that he does enough to win that award this season.
Okay, so here's the pop quiz. Henry is on pace to lead the NFL in rushing in consecutive seasons. LT, do you know who the last guy to do it was? Of course you do, because it was you back in 2006 and 2007. LT, thanks. All right, and if Derrick Henry becomes an MVP candidate, he'll be running against a couple of former winners, including two-time MVP Aaron Rodgers. After the break, forget about the playoff seedings for a sec and answer me this. Are the Packers the best team in the NFC?
The rookie. Congrats, kid. Your first NFL start against the best D in the league.
There's Hurts. He's back. He is floating the football. It is caught. Touchdown! Touchdown! He gets it over to Alshon Jeffrey.
All right, Jalen Hurts showing off his arm and his ability to scramble in his first NFL start. He's in great company, too, because looking at the list of QBs with the most rushing yards in their first career starts, Hurts had 106 rush yards on Sunday, which puts him second behind who? Lamar Jackson. Let's welcome in Sean O'Hara. Now, Jalen helped lead the team to a big win on Sunday, Sean. Lots of talk of how he would really be stepping up at Carson Wentz's shoes here. Well, great start for him. Is there a QB controversy in Philly now?
Yeah, MJ, great question. And look, I'm an optimist, so I'm not going to say it's a controversy. I'm going to say it's a luxury. You've got a young guy in Jalen Hurts that comes in with unbelievable poise and engineered this offense to a 246-yard rushing performance. Here's the thing. I know we're going to focus on the quarterback aspect of it and Jalen Hurts' throwing ability. He threw a couple of big plays. Look, that touchdown pass to Alshon Jeffrey's first one in a calendar year. He took a big shot on that. So he throwed some great courage standing in that pocket. But Jalen Hurts' impact, and here he is right now navigating the pocket, that scrambling ability, Carson Wentz, we haven't really seen him be able to do that. Carson Wentz has had PTSD, post-traumatic sack disorder. All right, Jalen Hurts injected life. It was more than a spark. Look, he gave them life. They were on life support this season, and Jalen Hurts came in and saved it. But, MJ, to me, the controversy, there is no such thing, because when you look at what this offense did with Jalen Hurts at quarterback, his ability to run and what he did to the defense, he opened up the running game for everybody else against the best defense in the NFL, the second best rushing defense of the Saints. They haven't given up a 100-yard rusher in 50 games. That's how long it's been. And yet the Eagles put up 200-yard rushers on them. So, yeah, Jalen, he's hurting defenses.
Oh, yes, Sean, let him know. I was waiting for one more punt from you, and you gave it to me. All right, speaking of the Eagles, Miles Sanders joins us a little later in the show to talk about the impact Jalen has in Philly and how the Eagles are looking to finish strong here down the regular season stretch. All right, let's get you at home caught up on the latest headlines. Tom Pelissero joins us now. Let's keep it in the NFC East, Tom. What's the latest on Washington quarterback Alex Smith?
Well, MJ, Washington feels pretty good about Alex Smith's chances for starting on Sunday against the Seahawks. Now, they're going to go easy on him in practice this week. He needs rest more than he needs reps as he deals with that calf strain, but they are optimistic that they can get him to Sunday. If he can't go, it'd be Dwayne Haskins. Elsewhere, the Saints are hoping Drew Brees can practice at least on a limited basis this week. He's missed 4 games since fracturing his ribs and suffering a punctured lung a month ago. He's getting closer, but they don't need to rush him until Brees is all the way back. Taysom Hill still in line for another start against the Chiefs. Lions quarterback Matthew Stafford probably not going to do much, if anything, in practice this week. He is dealing with a painful injury. I'm told a piece of cartilage broke off from between his ribs. But this is a guy with a high degree of pain tolerance. Has not been ruled out for Sunday against the Titans. The backup there would be Chase Daniel. In other news, the NFL informed clubs in a memo tonight that they will not be allowed to require players or staff to stay in a hotel during the postseason, with the exception of the night before games. We already knew there was not going to be a central playoff bubble. Now we also know there will not be mandatory local bubbles. And this was jointly recommended by the NFL and NFLPA medical experts based upon the recent testing data. They believe, MJ, the protocols are working.
All right, Tom, things shifting as we head into this playoff season. Coming up this week on NFL Total Access, Wednesday, Kurt Warner's top 3 QB storylines of Week 15. Do not miss that. Thursday, highlights and post-game analysis from Chargers, Raiders. And Friday, we're picking every game, giving player projections, and putting somebody on upset alert. Coming up next.